Hello friends, welcome to part 2 of your reading lesson today. Now that you have talked about things that you have learned how to do and information you have learned with Miss Spears, it is time to start thinking about writing our end of module task. Today you are just going to start the process. You're going to do all of the planning of writing your end of module task. In the video with Miss Spears, you will find out that you will be choosing one of 3 animals to write about in your end of module task. You will be able to choose between a hippopotamus, a platypus, and a chimpanzee. Those are your 3 options. Let's take a look at the expectations for our end of module task. It says, if you look here, checklist for success, meaning what do I need in my paragraph to have a successful paragraph? You will need a topic sentence that names the animal and the unique features, 2 or more details of how the animal uses the features, a conclusion, complete sentences that begin with a capital letter and end with a punctuation mark, your best spelling, and an illustration, which is a picture of the animal and its features on the front of the card. Use your best handwriting as you will read and share your story and illustration with your classmates and teacher. Well, we are not in a classroom, so you will not be sharing it with your classmates, but you will be sharing it with your teacher. So you need to make sure you use your best handwriting, because don't forget, if you can't read it, they can't either. Then also, when you take a picture of your work, it needs to be a very clear picture too. That's really important in virtual school. All right, let's take a look. So I want to show you some of the things that you will see in the video with Miss Spears. You can, when you're practicing, doing your planning to get your writing together, you can always pause the video, but I also wanted to include those resources for you in case you needed to, if you just wanted to look at it on a slide. So this is from handout. If you look in our materials list, it says handout 33A. So this right here is handout 33A. These are some of the unique features that the hippopotamus has. These are some of the unique features that the platypus has. And these are some of the unique features that the chimpanzee has. I made sure to include these on the slides because in case you didn't have your Module 2 workbook, that is where you would find this handout and these pages of information. So that is a resource for you to use when you're looking for the details. She will ask you to choose your animal and then to also circle the 2 details that you want to share that are unique features for the animal you chose. Then you will see we have also included, she will talk about some sentence frames for your topic statement and for your conclusion. So again, today you're just planning. You will not be turning in your writing today. You're just going to be practicing it orally or out loud by recording a Flipgrid video. Let's take a look at our topic statement sentence frames. In the video with Miss Spears, you will find out she gave you 2 options for using sentence frames. And you don't have to use these. You can come up with your own if you want to. These are just for you to use if you want to. It says the first sentence frame says the blank uses its blank to blank. And the second sentence frame you can use says blank helps the blank. So you need to choose one of those or come up with your own. Then you will have your 2 details and then you will have a conclusion. And remember, the conclusion helps restate the topic statement. So you might see that this is a little bit similar to the topic statement sentence frame as well. Mrs. Spears will go in a little bit more in depth on that, but this will help get you started and know what to look for. Then when you're done with your planning, you will click here to record a Flipgrid video. And you will basically just orally say what you would write in your paragraph if you were writing your paragraph and turning it in today. This gives you a chance to practice it before you write it on paper. And don't forget, tomorrow you will have to draw an illustration or a picture to go with your writing. So don't forget that. Sometimes our friends will forget to draw the picture, but we want to see your illustration to go with your writing. All right, friends. Well, now it is time for Miss Spears to take over, and she will go a little bit more in depth about what you will be doing for your end of module task. And then tomorrow you will actually write your end of module task and turn it into your teacher. Have a good day.
All right, friends, now that you've thought about all that you've learned from reading the text in this module, you'll show what you know by working on your end of module task. We're going to look over this end of module assessment together. We'll go through the steps for how to do the task, and after this video, you'll know what to write. Your classroom teacher will tell you how to show your work and how to turn it into them. Listen to the prompt on assessment 33A that you see on your screen. Use the evidence gathered during shared class research to write an informative paragraph about an animal's unique features. Be sure to include the following in your response: a topic sentence that names the animal and the unique features, 2 or more details of how the animal uses the features, a conclusion, complete sentences that begin with a capital letter and end with a punctuation mark, your best spelling, and an illustration of the animal and its features on the front of the card. To plan your end of module task, you first need to decide which animal you'd like to write about. Now, these 3 animals, the hippopotamus, the platypus, and the chimpanzee, should be familiar because we've read about them in several of our module texts. For your animal trading card, you can choose to write about a hippopotamus, a platypus, or a chimpanzee. You're going to now decide which animal you'd like to write about. So pause the video and write the animal name in your journal. Okay, now that you've chosen an animal to write about, you're ready to select some details and tell about that animal's unique features. You'll add these details to your informative paragraph on the back of your trading card. You're going to use the animal evidence organizer to determine which features are unique about the animal and provide facts about that animal. I'm going to read the details about the hippo, and as I'm reading, you can point to the body parts or features I'm reading about. For example, when I read about the hippo's ears, you can point to its ears. Now, you may not be able to see all the body parts, but you can point to the general area. So for example, when I read about the tusk, you can point towards the mouth, even though the hippo's mouth is closed, so we can't see the tusk in the image. Listen carefully as I read the details. Hippopotamus. Ears have hair in them. Large gray body. Closes ears when it goes underwater. Skin is easily sunburned. Has enormous mouth and long tusks that it uses to attack. Has sensitive skin. If you're writing about the hippo, pause the video now and circle 2 details that you want to include in your paragraph. If you don't have the handout, that's okay. You can just copy 2 details from the handout you see on the screen and write them in your journal. If you need to listen to me read this handout again, you can go back in the video. We'll read about the platypus next. I'm going to read the details about the platypus, and as I'm reading, you can point to the body parts or features I'm reading about. Platypus. Flat, wide, gray nose, brown body, uses its bill to dig through the mud for food. Feet are webbed. Males have poisonous spurs on their back legs. Can use its bill to notice electric pulses from its prey. The poisonous spurs won't cause humans to die, but some people can be in a lot of pain for weeks. If you're writing about the platypus, pause the video now and circle 2 details that you want to include in your paragraph. Remember, if you don't have the handout, that's okay. You can just copy 2 details from this handout and write them in your journal. We'll read about the chimpanzee next. I'm going to read the details about the chimpanzee, and as I'm reading, you can point to its body parts or features I'm reading about. Chimpanzee, brown furry arm. Hands don't have fur. Hands have 5 fingers. Feeds itself with its feet. Has an opposable thumb like humans. Feet can grasp objects like a hand. Has an opposable big toe that allows them to pick up and manipulate things with their feet. If you're writing about the chimpanzee, pause the video now and circle 2 details that you want to include in your paragraph. If you don't have the handout, that's okay. You can just copy the details from this handout and write them in your journal. Next, we'll think about where these details will fit in your paragraph. Take a look at our topic sandwich chart. Now, point to the part of the topic sandwich where your details will go. That's right, the information or details go in the middle of the paragraph. Now, point to the part that begins the paragraph. Oh, I know you pointed to it. The topic statement begins the paragraph, and we're going to talk more about topic statements next. Here are 2 examples of sentence frames that you could use for your topic statement. The uses its to or helps the Remember to use some of the information from the details you just selected from the evidence organizer. For example, if I was writing about the chimpanzee, I might say the chimpanzee uses its feet and hands to grab things. Or I could say feet and hands help the chimpanzee. Pause the video and practice saying your topic statement aloud. Did you practice? I'm sure you did. After we write our topic statement in details, what's next? That's right, the conclusion. Here's a sentence frame you can use for your conclusion. The uses its to You probably noticed something. You probably noticed that the conclusion is similar to one of the topic statements I just showed you, and that's okay, because remember, the topic statement and the conclusion often use similar words with a few differences. For example, if I write, the chimpanzee uses its feet and hands to grab things for the topic statement, I might say, the chimpanzee uses its hands and feet to get food for the conclusion sentence. The conclusion mentions the animals and the 2 features, but it uses a few different words. Now, share your conclusion sentence with your learning partner or just say it aloud. Okay, friends, now you know what to write. Remember, your classroom teacher will tell you where to complete your work and how to turn it into them. It's your turn to practice saying your whole informative paragraph aloud. Remember, you can go back in the video if you need to see the slide with the evidence to use for your sentences about the details. Also, remember that these sentence frames are just examples. If you'd like to write your topic statement and conclusion in a different way, that's fine too. Pause the video to practice your informative paragraph about how the hippo, platypus, or chimpanzee uses 2 of its unique features. All right, awesome first graders. What wonderful work you have done this module, and I wish I could see all of the interesting animal trading cards that you'll be creating. The next time we meet for our video lesson, we'll be starting a brand new module. So until then, be kind and do something great because you are capable of greatness.